Napoleon Bonaparte, born on August 15, 1769, in Corsica, is one of the most fascinating and influential figures in world history. Rising from modest beginnings, he became the Emperor of the French and reshaped Europe through military conquests, legal reforms, and administrative innovations. His life is a dramatic tale of ambition, genius, success, and eventual downfall, leaving an enduring legacy that still influences the modern world. This essay explores the life and legacy of Napoleon Bonaparte, analyzing his rise to power, military campaigns, domestic reforms, downfall, and historical significance. We will delve into the broader context of the French Revolution that allowed his ascent and examine how he became both a product and a shaper of his time. Early life and military training. Napoleon was born in Ajaccio, Corsica, shortly after France acquired the island from Genoa. His family belonged to the minor nobility and had limited financial means. Despite this, his father secured a scholarship for Napoleon to study in mainland France, first at the Military College of Brienne-le-Château and later at the École Militaire in Paris. From a young age, Napoleon showed a remarkable aptitude for mathematics, military science, and leadership. He was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the French artillery at the age of 16. His Corsican identity and Italian heritage made him an outsider in French society, but his determination to succeed and keen understanding of political dynamics helped him rise rapidly. The French Revolution and rise to prominence. The French Revolution, 1789 to 1799, shattered the old regime and created opportunities for talented individuals like Napoleon. The abolition of noble privileges and the reorganization of the military meant merit often mattered more than birth. Napoleon first gained national recognition during the Siege of Toulon in 1793, where he played a crucial role in recapturing the city from royalist forces backed by the British. His success led to a promotion to brigadier general at age 24. He further cemented his reputation by suppressing the royalist revolt in Paris in 1795 using a whiff of grapeshot, saving the revolutionary government. The Italian campaign and rise as a national hero. In 1796, Napoleon was given command of the Army of Italy. He transformed the demoralized and undersupplied army into a formidable force. Through brilliant tactics and rapid maneuvers, he defeated the Austrian and Piedmontese forces, securing northern Italy for France. Victories at battles such as Lodi, Arcole, and Rivoli showcased his genius for warfare. Napoleon's Italian campaign not only brought him military fame, but also political and personal fortune. He established client republics, looted valuable art and treasures, and negotiated the Treaty of Campo Formio with Austria, strengthening his political capital in France. The Egyptian campaign and the path to power, seeking to disrupt British trade with India. Napoleon led an expedition to Egypt in 1798. Though he won the Battle of the Pyramids and explored the wonders of ancient Egypt, his navy was destroyed at the Battle of the Nile by Admiral Horatio Nelson, stranding his army. Despite the strategic failure, Napoleon's Egyptian campaign was significant. It included scientific discoveries and cultural fascination that contributed to Egyptology. In 1799, with France politically unstable and war dragging on, Napoleon returned and staged a coup d'état on November 9, 18 Brumaire, overthrowing the Directory and establishing the Consulate. The Consulate, 1799 to 1804. As first consul, Napoleon ruled with near dictatorial powers. He reformed French administration, streamlined the legal system, stabilized the economy, and made peace with the Catholic Church through the Concordat of 1801. The most lasting of his reforms was the Napoleonic Code, Code Civil, which laid the foundation for modern legal systems in Europe and beyond. It codified civil rights, property laws, and family law, emphasizing equality before the law and the secular nature of the state. In 1802, he declared himself first consul for life, and in 1804, he crowned himself Emperor of the French, signaling the transformation of revolutionary France into an empire. The Napoleonic Wars, 1803 to 1815. Napoleon's reign was marked by nearly continuous warfare across Europe. The Napoleonic Wars were a series of conflicts involving various coalitions against France. War of the Third Coalition, 1805. Napoleon defeated Austrian and Russian forces at the Battle of Austerlitz, considered his greatest victory. The Treaty of Pressburg followed, leading to the dissolution of the Holy Roman Empire. War of the Fourth Coalition, 1806 to 1807. Prussia and Russia formed another alliance against France. Napoleon decisively defeated Prussian forces at Jena and Russian forces at Friedland. The treaties of Tilsit in 1807 created a temporary peace and established French dominance over continental Europe. Peninsular War, 1808 to 1814. In Spain, Napoleon faced prolonged guerrilla warfare after installing his brother Joseph as king. British forces under the Duke of Wellington, combined with Spanish resistance, drained French resources and morale. Invasion of Russia, 1812, Napoleon's most disastrous campaign. The invasion of Russia saw the Grand Army advance to Moscow. The Russians employed scorched earth tactics, and the harsh winter decimated Napoleon's forces. Only a fraction of his army returned to France. The decline and fall, 1813 to 1815, of Napoleon. The period from 1813 to 1815 marked the dramatic decline and ultimate fall of Napoleon Bonaparte, one of history's greatest military leaders. Following years of dominance across Europe, the tide began to turn against him after the disastrous Russian campaign of 1812, which severely weakened the Grande Armée. Sensing Napoleon's vulnerability, the Sixth Coalition, comprising Britain, Russia, Prussia, Austria, Sweden, and other allies, united to challenge French supremacy. In 1813, the pivotal Battle of Leipzig, also known as the Battle of Nations, saw Napoleon decisively defeated by coalition forces. This crushing loss forced French troops to retreat toward the Rhine. In 1814, the Allies invaded France itself. Despite Napoleon's skillful defense during the campaign, he was overwhelmed by superior numbers and political pressure. However, Napoleon's fall did not end there. In March 1815, he escaped Elba and returned to France for a brief period known as the 100 Days. Regaining power without bloodshed, Napoleon once again rallied the nation. His resurgence alarmed the European powers, leading to the formation of the Seventh Coalition. The climactic showdown came at the Battle of Waterloo on June 18, 1815, where Napoleon was ultimately defeated by the Duke of Wellington and Prussian forces under Blücher. Captured and exiled once more, this time to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic, Napoleon's fall from power was complete. His final defeat marked the end of over a decade of near-constant warfare in Europe and ushered in a new era of relative peace under the Congress of Vienna. Napoleon's rise and fall remain a profound lesson in ambition, military genius, and the limits of empire. Ask ChatGPT. Domestic reforms and legacy. Napoleon Bonaparte was not only a brilliant military leader, but also a transformative statesman whose domestic reforms had a lasting impact on France and Europe. His efforts reshaped governance, law, religion, and economics, laying the groundwork for many modern institutions. One of his most enduring achievements was the Napoleonic Code, a unified legal framework that emphasized equality before the law, protection of property rights, and the secular nature of civil life. This code replaced the patchwork of feudal laws and became a model for legal systems across Europe and beyond. Napoleon also restructured the judicial and administrative systems. He centralized government control, established a professional and merit-based bureaucracy, and reformed education by creating lycees, secondary schools, to train civil servants and future leaders. In the economic sphere, Napoleon stabilized the French economy by founding the Bank of France, improving tax collection, and investing in infrastructure, such as roads and canals, to promote commerce and military mobility. Religiously, the Concordat of 1801 mended relations with the Catholic Church, restoring religious peace while maintaining state supremacy over church affairs. This allowed religion to coexist with the secular authority of the state. Napoleon's influence extended far beyond France. He dissolved the Holy Roman Empire, encouraged nationalist movements in Germany and Italy, and contributed to the decline of feudalism. His campaigns spread the ideals of the French Revolution, liberty, legal equality, and secular governance across Europe, even though he ruled as an emperor. In sum, Napoleon's domestic reforms not only transformed France into a modern state, but also left a powerful legacy across Europe, blending revolutionary ideals with authoritarian rule. Napoleon Bonaparte was a complex and paradoxical figure in history, both a product of the French Revolution and an emperor who ultimately concentrated immense power in his own hands. As a leader, he embodied brilliance, charisma, and vision, yet his flaws proved equally significant. Napoleon's strengths were undeniable. He possessed an exceptional memory, a sharp analytical mind, and a deep understanding of military strategy. His ability to inspire loyalty and courage in his troops was legendary, often leading soldiers to victory against overwhelming odds. He revolutionized warfare through speed, flexibility, and bold maneuvers, transforming the battlefield and setting new standards for military leadership. However, his weaknesses undermined his success. Napoleon's ambition often outpaced his judgment, most notably in the disastrous Russian campaign of 1812, which decimated his army and weakened his empire. His lack of naval strength and failure to build strong diplomatic alliances, especially against Britain, left France vulnerable. Moreover, he often neglected the political and administrative stability of the territories he conquered, leading to resistance and instability. In the end, Napoleon was a brilliant but flawed leader, one whose genius brought him to the height of power, but whose overreach and authoritarianism led to his downfall. His leadership remains a subject of admiration and debate, symbolizing both the heights of ambition and the costs of unchecked power. Conclusion: Napoleon Bonaparte's legacy is one of both triumph and tragedy. As a military strategist and state builder, he reshaped Europe through bold campaigns and far-reaching reforms. His Napoleonic Code, centralized administration, and educational and economic policies laid the foundations for modern governance in France and influenced legal systems across the world. Yet, his insatiable ambition and autocratic rule ultimately led to widespread conflict, suffering, and his own downfall. Napoleon was a man of contradictions, a revolutionary who became an emperor, a reformer who suppressed liberty, and a genius whose greatest enemy was himself. His life story serves as a powerful reminder of the delicate balance between power and responsibility, vision and restraint. Though his empire fell, the ideas and institutions he left behind continue to shape the modern world.